Hello, my name is Alanis King, and this right here is a 2024 Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid. The CX-90 replaced the Mazda CX-9, which Mazda had sold since 2007, and it's Mazda's new, big, three-row SUV, and it is really, really impressive. Today, I want to tell you 5 things I like about it, and 1 thing I don't love so much. Let's go! And before we get to all of those things, I have one important thing to tell you. This video is brought to you by Home Field Apparel. I am sure at this point you've seen Home Field's amazing motorsports drops, and we will put some of those on the screen right now. But Home Field also sells really cool vintage-inspired collegiate apparel. I went to the University of Texas, and I have UT Home Field shirts. They're so good, they're so comfortable, they look great, and the motorsport drops are amazing. I have loved working with Home Field. They are all so nice and so wonderful, and they reached out to me to partner with this channel. So I think that is awesome. And if you want to order from Home Field, you can use my code ALANIS24 for 15% off your order. It really helps me out, it helps Home Field, and I appreciate you all. Thank you. This CX-90 has a 323 horsepower hybrid system, an 8-speed automatic transmission, all-wheel drive, seating for 7, and a 3,500-pound towing capacity. It also has second-row captain's chairs, and its total price is about $59,000. The CX-90 is bigger in every dimension than the outgoing CX-9, and I figured that was a good time to test the rear cargo capacity in Alanis units. Let's get in and go. Oh, I might need some help. Nope. Oh, push it. Well, I'm in, but I can't say that my posture is very good, but it definitely fits for sure. The first thing I love about the CX-90 is that it rides and drives really smoothly. There's a little bit of tire noise and there's a little bit of wind noise, but overall it feels really nice in here. You also have an EV-only range of 26 miles. So if you use this car on your commute, a lot of people will actually be able to do their entire commute in EV mode, which is what I'm in right now. And that is huge because you can just go to work and come back and charge the car and go to work again. And then you can fall back on the gas engine when you need to go longer distances. No stress, no worries, and you're being fuel efficient and you're saving money. Oh, there's that really loud blinker. You hear that? Oh, it feels so weird to put it in sport mode because you're used to driving in EV only. But when you put it in sport mode, the acceleration is not offensive at all. It's not fast, but it gets up to speed enough to where if you're accelerating to get on the highway, you won't be like, oh, I'm really lacking here. Oh. So overall, the ride quality is really, really nice. You have enough power, and the biggest thing is that EV-only range. I think hybrids are such a good solution for our modern vehicle problems, which is you can go on your commute to work and you don't have to use any gas. What a lovely concept. The second thing I absolutely love about the CX-90 is the interior quality. I am not kidding, when you're in this car, it feels like a $70-ish thousand car. It feels like it's in the 70s, when in reality, it's 59. It's so nice in here. And I will say, the biggest props I can ever give is that this interior has no piano black. When you look around, you have the wood trim, you have flat black, not piano black, you have the silvery accents and the white, and you have no shiny black. And if you don't know about piano black is a material automakers absolutely love for no reason. They put it in every modern car, and it looks great in photos and great in the showroom. And then 5 minutes into using it and driving the vehicle, it has dust and grease and all kinds of stuff all over it. And the fact that there is no piano black in here when every modern automaker uses it everywhere is incredible. Props to Mazda, great interior, thank you so much. I also love that both front passengers have heated and cooled seats. You have a heated steering wheel and you have tactile buttons, but not so many of them that it's overwhelming. It's a great balance up here. It's daytime right now, but another really cool thing about this interior is that at night it has this really subtle white lighting over the center control panel, the door cards, and the footwells. So you can see what you're doing, but it's also not overwhelming. It's actually so subtle that it's hard to tell where the lighting is coming from. Oh, it just looks so peaceful and elegant, and it helps you not lose stuff at night. The third thing I like about this vehicle is a very, very, very short segment, but it's also really cool. When you look up right in your line of sight right here, you have a little checklist of who has their seatbelts on. So if you have some rowdy little kids or rowdy little adults back there and they don't have their seatbelt on, you can yell at them. And I love doing that because you need to be safe and you need to wear your seatbelt. And this means I don't have to look at you. I can just look at my lights. The fourth thing I love about this car is how comfortable the second row is. Now, it's no Kia Carnival, which is my favorite vehicle on earth because I can't kick my feet out in my captain's chairs, but it is pretty good. The second row has its own climate control, has heated seats, captain's chairs with armrests, and I have this big glass panel up here that makes it feel so light and airy. I also have manual window shades so I can keep the sun off of me. The second row feels really nice and purposeful and like it is meant for your 4-person family and a couple of friends in the back. There is a lot of emphasis on making this row comfortable for your children or for whoever else needs to be in it. It's also pretty purposeful because when you have people who need to go to the third row, they need to walk through the middle right here. And the second row also needs cup holders. So what do? You have cup holders in the doors, and you also have these middle cup holders that pop up and down so people can walk through without hitting them, and then you can pop them up as soon as you need to use them. I really like this second row. It is super comfortable. It feels super spacious. And I just feel really one with everyone in the vehicle. It feels like there's a family in here, but there's not. It's just me by myself. While I demonstrate how difficult it is for an adult to get out of the third row, you didn't see me get in, it wasn't pretty. But while I demonstrate that, I want to tell you the fifth and final thing I really like about this CX-90, and that is the value. Okay, here we go. This is like self-sabotage, doing this to myself. So, this is a $59,000 car. It has one optional feature, which is the paint, which is called Artisan Red. It's $595. So that brings us to $59,000. And when you're inside this car, you would think it is a high 70s to low $80,000 car. And I'm sure you're saying, Alanis, $59,000 is expensive. What are you talking about? But you have to consider the modern prices of cars. The average price of a new car is 50 grand. This is barely above average, and it is so nice in there. And I know it's really hard to reprogram your brain for modern prices, but once you do, you realize that this is a pretty good deal. Now, what do we have under here? We have a 2.5 liter, 323 horsepower engine.
And it's got a lot of plastic on top, so you can't see it. But the cool thing about this plastic is you can hit these little unlock buttons here. So there's one there, hit the unlock, and it pops up.
Wow!
And it even has a little thing where you can prop it up.
Keep it hanging.
So look at your engine, which is actually a longitudinally mounted 2.5 liter turbo inline 4.
Wow, look at that.
And
you can see it.
It's kind of a rarity to see a longitudinally mounted engine in a car like this, so big props to Mazda for doing that. You can also see the electronic power steering rack down there if you have enough light to see it.
Ooh.
There's just some cool bits about this car. You can also see the the axle shafts that go through the front struts. And there's just a lot of cool things going on under this engine bay.
And I think you really were into the suspension, right? You want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, so this car actually has double wishbone front suspension and
wishbone?
multi-link rear suspension. So that's a pretty cool thing to see on a large SUV. You know, that's something you would probably see on a sports car, but here it is on your family car.
Mazda is living up to its commercials from like 20 years ago, where it's just zoom, zoom, zoom. Before we get to the one thing I don't love so much about this CX-90, it's fun fact time. My fun fact goes first, and my fun fact is that the CX-90, the most powerful version of it, which makes 340 horsepower, just a little bit more than this engine, is actually the most powerful mass production Mazda engine ever in a CX-90. And you might go, Alanis, how? Well, it's because Mazda's iconic sports car, the Miata, is known for not having a lot of power. So we got the big power in here.
The other cool thing about this car is another kind of race car thing that you would not normally see on a big car like this. Although you're starting to see it more often as fuel economy becomes a thing. It is the flat bottom floor. Look how flat this floor is on this car.
Wow, look at that. That is some race car stuff right there.
Yeah, you might see that for downforce in a race car, or in this case, you'll see it for the improved fuel economy.
Heck yeah. Now it's time for the one thing I don't love so much about the CX-90, and that is that Mazda missed on some of the details. And I want to run you through them rapid fire. The shift knob is a little plasticky feeling. This black cladding, not gonna age well, and they probably just should have done it body color. These captain's chairs only have armrests on one side, so my other arm just kind of flops. The third row won't fit an adult comfortably, but at least I can charge my phone. The rear hatch proportions are kind of bulbous, and the car almost looks like a hatchback minivan from this proportion. And the last rapid fire thing I don't love so much is that it sounds kind of wimpy. So that was 5 things I love and one overarching thing I don't love so much about the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid SUV. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Please feel free to leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all there. Until then, see you next time.